September 27th. Roll call.
Director Greg Washington.
Here.
Tell us about Florida.
It's raining hard.
We feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Director Alfred Wallace.
Here.
Director Rick Webb.
I'm here.
Vice President Ben Stewart.
Here.
President Byron Glidden.
Here.
We do have a quorum present. General Manager Kim Domingo.
Here.
Public Works Director John Houghton is absent. I am the Director of Administration. My name is Sherry Pence. Do we have legal counsel, Mr. John Comar, with us?
I am here.
Hi, John.
All right, everyone rise for the pledge, please. Ready? Begin. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and it should stand under God.
liberty and justice for all.
For all.
And may the God we just pledged guide our decision making tonight, or overrule our decision making tonight according to His will. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No.
Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda? Motion to approve. Motion, Director Webb.
Second, Director Washington.
Second, Director Washington. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Public comment. We're open to public comment at this time. If you have something you want to say, you'll let us hear it. Hearing no public comments, we'll move on to voluntary roll call. It's out there on teleconference on the phone. Let us know you're there.
Hi, Byron and members of the board. This is John Joyce for the Roseman News.
Good evening, John. Good evening. All right, we'll move on from voluntary roll call to consent agenda. PC1, review of the check and the vouchers from September 5th through the 18th and September 13th, the date of the payroll check. I have a motion. Motion, Director Wallace. Second, Director Webb. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Minutes. Approval of M1 and M2, the Government Community Relations Committee, and the regular board meeting.
Mr. President, before I make a motion, there's one correction to M2, the regular board meeting minutes, page 4, under General Manager's update, the third bullet point. The first sentence says storm sewer management plan. It should be corrected to sanitary management plan. And thank you, Vice President Stewart, for pointing that out.
Editorial change. All right. Have you got a motion and a second on the minute? Motion on the minute? Second. Director Stewart. Motion. Director Webb, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. New business. NB1. Approve the non-profit activity on the district property at the Red Cross Blood Drive. And you can sign me up for December 11th. I have a motion. You want a little discussion? You want to explain it, Sherry? Go ahead.
I will tell you. So the Red Cross asked again if they could come back and have another blood drive at our facility. December 11th is the date that works well for them as well as the district, and staff recommends that we do that. It was very successful. It's a great community outreach event. It's definitely filling a need in our community.
I'm much more excited about doing it here than driving to Quartz Hill.
I do have a question for you, though.
Yes.
Because this is the second time it's been brought to us. Do we have to do it every time, and can you guys just we give you you guys a 6-month calendar and say that the general manager can approve that it does have to come to the board each time.
We could do that if that's the board's wishes.
I'm just asking, it's a good, noble thing to do. So.
Absolutely, and because I think it's great for the board each time to say we're approved.
The fellow who's kind of over that was here this last time, and I talked to him, and we would have to make sure they would be fine with coming on a regular 8-week, 6-week interval with us. If we're fine with it, and they're fine with it, then we could do that. But if they can only do it at, certain time. And the key is if there's enough blood to come.
Correct.
That's all. So
And it sounds like it was last time that we had
We had, I believe it was
25.
25 people donated.
Yeah.
So they were hoping initially for 40, but being that we hadn't had it before, and I'm hoping that they'll throw in some extra incentives to have people come to, they can participate in the drawing. They gave away a 4-pack of Not So Pretty Farm tickets.
Yeah. And maybe a little bit more publicity, there probably is a number. It's probably like 20 or something like that. They're probably else they don't want to schedule it. I imagine.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit to get
But I think that's
set
a good
up.
idea. If we can kind of get into the routine of it.
Okay, Sean, I appreciate you wanting to bring it to us, but I have all the faith in you that it's important to the community. But if you still want to do it, you see good, so I support it either way.
Can you make that motion and take action? Or add that to your motion?
Okay, I'd like to, for MV number 1, as far as using the district property for the American Red Cross, I'd like to add a part to it that in the future that the general manager can set the dates there and just advise the board of the results.
Okay, you hear that motion? Do I have a second? Second. Second, Director Stewart. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
So I appreciate you one us in the loop there, but I trust that you're going to coordinate that and bring the best thing forward for us.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that you want to keep us informed.
Opposed, the same sign.
I did not hear Director Washington.
Motion carried.
Oh, we can go.
I did not hear Director Washington.
Director.
I approve it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, MB2, approved capital project number 01244, water meter replacement.
Is that going to be the ones we don't have to read? Well, we always have to read them.
Drive by.
I sent us away. Thank you, Mr. President. So, with the state issuing or advancing more restrictive water conservation legislation through the Water Conservation as a Way of Life initiative, water retailers need to react to technology that's consistent with the data demands. The district currently employs radio read meters that facilitate monthly data collection via remote read capture equipment while driving through the metered neighborhood. While having the capability to collect incremental usage data from individual meters, this requires staff to connect a portable laptop to the meter and manually download the data as well as manipulate the data to usable forms in case they wanted to see, individual days or even within a day. The district provides this service when a ratepayer seeks to resolve a usage issue at their premises. Technology improvements of data transmission have given rise to the use of cellular versus radio transmission. Each meter can now upload data individually over the web and can be read remotely from any computer or smartphone. Additionally, customers can access their data via a compatible application at no cost. The application provides a variety of water use management functions. The district currently employs approximately 5,000 radio read meters. There are also approximately 40 meters which utilize a handheld touch wand, old Neptune meters, that has since malfunctioned, and these meters are read manually by staff. The proposed project will pilot 50 cellular meters, most of which will replace the manual read meters, with the remaining meters deployed among some of our larger water users. This project will allow staff to evaluate the new meter technology, including the collection of data and how it can inform our current billing system and replace meters without new technology.
So it's going to be selective. These first ones are going to be selective to larger water users.
They will actually go towards the old meters that need replacement. The first 40, then we'll have 10 in reserve, and we will apply those. I'm going to let Public Works staff.
The theory is that if the customer knows, they'll use less water.
And also, to answer your question, Director Wallace, that will allow us to collect the data, over a data network, versus having to go out and read or drive by, and then we can set the reads, to certain increments. I mean, all that information is going to be available to us as well as the customer.
I agree with the movement we're going, but I sure don't. Every possible way we can resist becoming the water police, and that's the direction I think they're trying to take us, and we don't want to be ones that are starting to find. If we're in that position, we're stuck, but that's where I see it going.
What the meters will do will allow customers to
Self-police at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I had a comment.
Yes.
I had a comment.
Go ahead. Great.
Tim, on a side note, I'll be attending the Water Smart Innovations Conference, and I'm sure water meters will be one of the topics. So if staff has any questions that they'd like to give me to try to find some answers or find some pros and cons for you guys, I'd be more than happy to.
Seek out the Metron meter booth, because that's who we're going to be working with.
Metron, okay. Sure will.
I see a lot of water running down my street all the time.
See if you can get a special deal for us. We can do the experimental district.
I like that.
all free meters.
I like that.
Are these water meters, if they're cellular, are we able to shut them off if they don't pay their bill without having to go out? Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't know if we have that. We'll have that capability.
I would imagine we would be able to, but maybe, you can't physically go out.
You may need to do it manually.
I've seen meters that you can put the number in the computer and it'll close it. It's internal, so it's not like, and this, I don't know the words. It doesn't have a little fan in there that counts. It's sonar, and then the motor turns it.
Oh, it's got a ball valve.
Yeah, that ball valve and it closes. Hey, just put a lock on them, turn it on. No.
Yes, that's what we do.
Of course, yeah, you put a lock on them, right?
Well, it appears I have my first question for the conference.
There you go.
All right.
So there's some specific recommendations that we want to address. So the motion would be, if the board's going to entertain a motion, would be to approve capital project 01244, which is titled Water Meter Replacement. Approve the transfer of $25,000 from capital project number 01233, which is the admin storage building, to capital project number 01244. And then 3, to do the requisite CEQA findings, to find the proposed project to be exempt from further CEQA review per section 15301 of the state CEQA guidelines. And then 4, to authorize staff to complete and file the notice of exemption. So someone makes that motion, that would cover everything.
So I need a motion for all 4 of those subtitles.
Well, I'll make a motion. That was a mouthful.
The $25,000 is to pay for the meters.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 second. And what was about the building? How'd the building get in that one?
The The admin storage building, after discussing this project with staff and what the storage, I think we discussed it actually.
Yeah.
So that line item will probably not be done. So we'll be able, and I'm talking about the outside storage.
Yeah, the one that you had, yeah.
We were talking about a 39-year payback on that.
Yeah. So, has money been set aside for that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha. This is a portion of it.
This will be a yeah.
Okay, so
We're moving money from that.
Moving money.
I didn't know there was, okay. And the last part of it was the 4 parts
Just
of it.
equal finding.
Okay, cool. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that was, we have money set aside for that already, huh?
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay. Greg, you have a question?
No.
Okay. So I need a motion that includes what the general manager just described to us as 4 points. Director Wallace makes the motion. Second?
Second.
Director Stewart. Sorry, Greg.
That's okay.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion NB2 carried.
And Director Washington, was that a yes for you as well, sir?
Yes.
Moving on to presentations, PR1 water reclamation plant project update.
Mr. President, I will give that report. We actually, Ryan and I met with our contract manager yesterday, and we're still moving towards completion. We're in a little mini dispute with the contractor on the responsibility for the last piece of equipment. We're working through that issue. So other than the fact that the plant is making great water that is being percolated back into the ground, and just a minor frog issue that we have out at the plant, that's all I have to report.
Any questions on the water reclamation plant? All right. Moving real quickly here. Director's reports and comments. Director Washington.
I have nothing tonight, Mr. President.
You need to tell us something. If you're
Okay,
going to
if
be
you want-
important.
If you want me to, I will. I just want to stress right quick the importance of USAs, underground service alerts. That's when an agency notifies us that they'll be digging somewhere in our area. A lot of guys at my old employer gets a little lackadaisical in following up on underground service alerts, and as a result, Southern California Edison punched a hole in the Metropolitan Water District pipe over in the Compton Lateral, I believe last week or 2 weeks ago. So that's a big time thing there. So we really want to be get out and when we have USAs to get out and follow up on them and what they're doing.
That's all right. They're a problem, but boy, if they hit a gas one, that's
Oh boy,
a
yeah.
problem. Yeah. All right. Director Wallace. Director Stewart.
Just thinking what Director Washington said regarding the USAs. USA was originally designed for pressurized lines, so that would be gas or water. We are actually not required to go out and mark our sewer or storm drains, which I know we don't have, sewers, but it's always a good idea to go do it. It is still the responsibility of the contractor if they are working within a 2 feet easement or a 2 feet area of an asset. It's on them to take down pothole on their firm. So, yes, it's a good idea for us to go mark, but if they believe and they hit it, it's still on them to pay for the repairs. So I don't have anything else.
Okay. Director Webb.
Nothing, sir.
All right, I'll follow the pattern. I won't add anything. General Counsel update.
I'm not getting in the way of the no reports.
Have a good evening, John.
You as well.
General Manager's update.
I'm sorry, I got a few things to report on. So we are still working with Fisher Compliance on the sanitary sewer management plan update. We've had, they have gone through, since the one that we presented to the sewer committee, probably 4 revisions. And each time it's getting more and more into shape. So I feel pretty confident about what the final product's going to look like. We still owe them a bit of information, so we're still working on that. And we will have another sewer committee meeting set up to share that the draft before it's finalized and before it comes to the board meeting on the 25th. So it'll probably be the week of the 9th that we'll have the sewer committee meeting. The first thing. Second thing is the staff, public works staff, did a great job of utilizing the existing work order systems to identify the current water service line hotspots. Problem there, generally speaking, we just kind of distilled the data from the work orders and actually put it into the GIS system. You can see a visual of where the spread of where all the interesting thing is it's pretty much system wide, but it also picked up all the areas where we've been there multiple times, multiple streets, certain areas. So we're pretty close to developing a project that we're going to bring to the board that we're going to ask to do in lieu of the AC pipe replacement project. I'll bring more definitive numbers at the next board meeting, but we estimate that we spend $500,000 a year on service line water alone. So if we can divert some of the capital funds into replacing those lines instead of going multiple times,
Isolating the ones that are problems.
absolutely. So I want to commend the public works staff on getting the data together and getting their heads together and looking at it from that point of view. So we should have something for action by the next
So can I ask you a question about that?
Yes, sir.
How did they go about putting that together?
So they looked at the work orders for the last 3 years, and so they took all the addresses, pulled out like that, and that was not easy to pull out. That information the current work order system is not data friendly, I would say. So then that once they were able to get all the noise out of it, they plugged it back into the GIS system to get kind of a scatter, the scatter. And then you can drill down into the certain areas and find out on a particular street how many times the staff has had to service in that street. And so we're able to
do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
And you brought up $500,000 is a significant number.
Yes.
So you take the time, not their department head, but you on your letterhead, write a letter to them. That's a lot of effort. And that's going to save $500,000. I'd like to see something like that in their packages. That's it. However they got there, what you told them to do it, they did it on their own. And it's just the fact that makes a possible number. I'd like to see something in their package that reflect that effort.
Well, it'll be in the staff report, definitely.
I mean, I'm talking about an employee's package.
Yes. Oh, in their public works package?
Yeah, the personal package. Yeah, I think, I'm just looking at the dollar amount. And that's we talk about weeks every week.
Yeah.
If they were able to capture something that's a significant number.
Yeah.
Getting something nice from the board of the boss in their package, I'd like to see that.
I just wanted to point out that by doing a project like this, it's going to be a multi-year project. And it'll nip at part of that $500,000 every year, because when you're looking at the problem with polybutylene pipe service lines, which actually went through the makers of that, DuPont and Shell, I think they actually, there was a class action lawsuit, which has since expired, because I actually looked to see, hey, is there some recourse we can go back and get funds? But those are all reserved for only plumbing inside a home, not the service lines. So we're kind of stuck with the repairs. But I'm going to try to have a financial analysis together for you so you can see how that will impact overall. But yeah,
that's one of the things we talk about every meeting. We patched here, we patched there, and you guys have captured a way to get all that sum total.
Yeah.
That could be pretty significant moving forward.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, Public Works did a great job.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Also want to congratulate President Bland for re-election to the ARPA 3% board. Congratulations. I just a couple of personal items. I've been summoned for jury duty next week. I'm in panel number 1. Panel number 1, which I'm going to get called Monday. I'm going to get called duty Monday. So I'll provide an email update to the board if it's going to be an extended period of time. Hopefully I get. Usually when I say I'm an engineer, they usually don't mention me. So hopefully that works out.
Don't be a policing engineer.
And I know lots of conference. I have lots.
There you go.
Yeah. And then also, I will also be away from October 26th through. I'll be out of the office and out of the country actually October 26th through November 8th. Returning on November 9th. I'll be in Thailand.
Your report reminds me of an incident today. I saw the RCSD truck out in front of my house. It was parked there, and it was quite a while, so I went out and looked, and it was a fellow. Yeah, I don't know if he knew I was the director or not, but it was routine maintenance of the sewer and inspection and cleaning.
Yes.
And that goes on regularly, and it's basically preventive maintenance.
Yes.
And I think the more technology we have to scope the sewer lines and the water lines, it will save us money in the long run. I guess we've got a pretty good tool right now to do that.
We do, and we're in the process of, in fact, there's going to be a budget adjustment requested at the next meeting as well for the van in which we house the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we budgeted $60,000. It's going to need more than that. So we're going to come back with it.
Yeah, again, I don't know if he knew me, but he was very polite. I asked him what I said, what did I do wrong? He said nothing. It's just routine cleaning of the and inspection of the sewer line.
Mr. President, that's a good example of how it's important how we conduct ourselves in the public. Maybe 20 years ago, I was working on a utility truck out in Pasadena. Little did I know I was working in front of a board of directors home. And he came out and asked what we were doing. I had no idea who he was. I was down the hall, and my helper was speaking with him. And he called in and told my boss that we did a good job out there and that we carried ourselves well and was professional. So that's really important. That's a good lesson that you shared, good example.
He wasn't going down in it, at all. And he was by himself. And I said, don't fall in there. I said, I'll come out and check a little bit.
I got in trouble for doing that. I went on the job. I wasn't telling them nothing. I just watched. I'm curious. And one of them told me. But another one said he didn't do nothing. So our general manager said, that's fine. I think if you don't say anything.
Yeah, I don't know if
you got to be careful, right?
Well, yeah, you don't want to give direction, right? That's what you don't want to do. You want to.
Well, I told him not to fall in the hole.
I knew that.
All right. Thank you, sir. Director of Administration, update.
Thank you, Mr. President. The customer service representatives mailed out a total of 118 notices of impending shutoff last week on the 18th. They had our Public Works deliver 98 door hangers, so we reported that on the 19th. We had shut off 10 total shutoffs on the 12th of September, all but one has paid.
Just 10 this time.
Right. Yeah. And we had 893 accounts that were charged a late fee penalty on the 20th of this month.
So the numbers are trending down.
They have been.
Yeah.
This was a little bit higher. We sent out the door hangers a little earlier. I was on vacation for a couple of days. I wanted to make sure they got out sooner rather than later when I returned. So normally, when we send out the notices, it's about a week when we do the door hangers. And there's a dramatic difference in the number, and then as it goes, as it progresses towards the shut-off date, it drops even further.
How many days you get that?
10 business days.
That you got late?
Well, late fees, correct, yeah, usually. The late fees are assessed, when this falls on the weekend or a non-business day, it's going to be the following.
Their percentage of the bill, is that right?
It's 10% of the current bill is the late penalty. That's correct. And
Sherry,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had a question, and you probably already mentioned it and I missed it, but what days do you shut off on? Like Monday through Friday, what day do you?
We would do either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, never on a Thursday.
Great, okay.
Right? That way that gives folks a chance to come in and pay.
Exactly, there you go, very good.
Okay. And I will be attending a 3-day CalPERS conference next week, Monday through Wednesday. So I'll be out of the office. But I'll be available by email or text.
You going to the ocean?
I'm going to downtown LA.
Oh!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Going to package I had. How to leave the package with you? Downtown LA. For real, no. Heads up.
I'm not leaving the hotel.
Heads up.
Yeah.
That's really.
You're not going to ride your bike then?
I'm not taking my bike, no.
And do not ride the train. Do not get on the next one.
Driving.
Do not get on the orange line or the red line.
I really don't want to drive down there. So,
Well, actually, couldn't you do the Metro Link into Union Station and just walk?
as Uber over.
Yeah, or if you're going Metro Link,
I could.
it takes you going to Union Station.
I've actually thought about that.
Yeah.
So I'm going Sunday, towards
$10 on Sunday.
Kind of won't be so bad on Sunday.
It takes a long time too, doesn't it? It takes a long time. I've taken around. I went down the canyon, they do about 5-10 miles an hour.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time. It's 2 hours from Lancaster.
2 hours?
Yeah, and
That might be quicker than driving traffic.
I guess we just encourage them.
nice scenery though. Nice scenery. I see a lot of things that I didn't really know what was going on behind the hills.
Yeah, I just said last year they had it in Orange County, I think in Anaheim.
Okay.
Because they do rotate where
Well, they're trying to show the different now.
I'm waiting for them to have it in Lancaster, but no luck so far.
Your comments sparked another thing that I forgot to say. On Friday this week, I'll be representing us as a groundbreaking at the high school. High school is going to start a new cafeteria, and they invited me as the member of the Rcsd to be there. I don't know if I have to say anything or not, but if I have to, I'm going to be tuned.
What's this Friday?
It's Friday, the 29th at 9 o'clock. Public Works update.
Public Works, Larry here for John, guys. We've actually been really busy. We've had 26 weeks before we were here a lot.
Did you talk this a little louder?
Yeah, I'm saying, so we've been really busy in the Public Works Department over the past few weeks. We had 26 weeks reported repairs. Last field operations report. We've also done Montana log off, door tags, graffiti removal, and meters, all in the one. I thought it was a little bit of food.
I want to commend this guy. He come out and fixed my water meter. He didn't charge me anything either. He got right on it, man.
Yeah.
I've noticed the graffiti is seeming to pick up just a little bit.
Have been lately. Trying to stay on top of it on
Yeah.
and address it immediately. Sometimes we need to get the property owners permission.
But the quicker we're on it, the better.
If we can't get to it, we'll tell the property owner, the pet owner, whoever it is.
And you guys paint all the block fences where the meter's at too, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been really busy. A lot of development going on in town. We got a new developer possibly coming into town that is to build off of Holiday and Folius, the southwest corner. On top of that, I'm sure you guys have seen the out here. They're getting ready to extend one of our main lines. We had an 8-inch main that goes down Levy Boulevard, but we also
12-inch line is, when you do that?
Yeah, so they're installing a 12-inch line. It's going to be 14 feet south of our current 8-inch main on those boards.
So do you hot tap off the main, or is that when you have to shut down service and put in a T for?
So in the past, they ran a 12-inch from the intersection already, and it goes out on a couple of sticks, which is 6 to 20 feet, and it stops directly in front of Dollar General. And that line is extended specifically for Dollar General. So when they extended that line, they capped it, they put a run block, and then they put a valve cam where that line ended. So what they're doing is they're tying an extended line.
So it's already hooked up, they're just going to take the point off and extend it.
Yeah. So Dollar General got off that line, and the hydrant in front of Dollar General goes off.
It took me 5 years, and I'm learning.
Yeah.
You might know what you're doing, what you're doing.
I can stand back and hold on a shovel at least.
Yeah, I think the more planning we do, that saves us money down the road.
It's nice to have developers put it in as well.
We don't want to go get too ahead of ourselves.
Right.
All right. Thank you, sir. If there's anything else,
I just want to ask 2 questions before we adjourn. Are we going to participate in the holiday parade? And what's the status? I know they were talking about the wall coming to Rosewood. Was there anything about, was it going to come up here to the district office or not? Is it just going to be at the one location? Do we know?
you want to participate in the parade or not? Yeah, man.
That was the Armed Forces Appreciation Parade. But I think, are you referring to the holiday parade?
Yeah, the holiday.
The light parade?
Yeah, the light parade, the light, whatever you call it. Christmas parade? Yeah, we got 3 different names for it. Light parade, Christmas parade.
Holiday.
Yeah, holiday. Yeah, I didn't know were we going to take any part in it or not.
I don't think we've gotten any information from the chamber.
You know, when we were involved more in the community, it's when we had the recreation responsibility. And I think to lay some of those things now on the water and sewer customers, I don't know if that's an appropriate thing for us to do. You know, we can sponsor things, but I don't know about spending any significant money in that direction. When we had Parks and Recreation, that's where that money came from.
Is there a cost to enter the parade, or is it free?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Oh, there's a cost.
Yeah, there is a cost to be a sponsor in the parade, and they would want us to have a
You have to decorate your,
some
whatever
kind
it
of
is
flow
you're
or
entering.
something like that. Yeah.
So let's have the GM and those little circus cars.
I believe they have the traveling dunk tank. Why don't you do that?
We don't water.
We don't want your water.
You know,
Yeah, we did the last couple months we got the vacuum.
Yeah, they have the vacuum truck in too.
yeah, that would be good. You know, back in the good old days, you could go down to the corner at Sierra Highway, Keeper and Sons, and they let you use one of their vehicles, convertibles, for an event like that. They allowed us to use them for our little homecomings at our youth football games. They were really supportive of that. We missed that.
All right. Anything else before we adjourn? I have a motion to adjourn. So moved. Motion Stewart. Second Wallace.
Hello?